This lesson will cover using a half-angle identity to find values of certain angles that aren't the typical 30, 45, or 60-degree angles. The first thing you need to do in order to find the cosine of 7 pi over 8 is know the formula. The formula for finding the cosine of a half angle is cosine of u over 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine of u all over 2. U over 2 represents the, in this case, would be the given angle. We'll have 7 pi over 8. U would be double that angle. And we'll get to that in a second. The first thing you need to figure out when you're doing something like this is whether you're plus or minus to start with. And the way you figure that out is you go to the original angle and figure out what quadrant it's in. Okay, there's a couple different ways to do that. One of the easy ways is to convert it to degrees by multiplying by pi over 180 over pi. And when you do that, you get an angle that's going to be a little bit less than 180. Let me see exactly what it is. You get 157.5 degrees. All right, that is clearly between 90 and 180, so it is in quadrant 2. Okay, now since we're talking about the cosine function in quadrant 2, we know that this plus or minus here is going to be the minus. So we start out with minus square root 1 plus, I'm going to leave the next part blank for a second so we can figure out what goes there, over 2. Okay, if u over 2 is equal to 7 pi over 8, multiply both sides by 2, and you would get u is 7 pi over 4. So that helps us fill in the rest of that square root there. We get the cosine of 7 pi over 4 here. Now we're talking about a different angle, so we're talking about a different quadrant. So the quadrant we're talking about for cosine of 7 pi over 4, we're talking quadrant 4. And the reference angle, since there's a 4 on the bottom, is 45 degrees. All right, let me extend this page. All right, so now we can figure out what the value of negative 7 pi over 4 is. So we'll get, everything will stay the same except for that. All right, since it's in quadrant 4, we know that cosine is positive. Since it's 45 degrees, we know it's root 2 over 2. Now from here, we need to simplify this. What I personally do is I don't like having the compound fraction there. So I will take and get rid of this complex denominator, compound denominator, by multiplying everything top and bottom by 2. When I do that, I get negative 2 plus root 2 over 4. And we can simplify that a little bit because we have a square root with a 4 here on the bottom. And if you take the square root of 4, you get 2. So your final answer is negative root 2 plus root 2 over 2. And that's it.